Whispers in the wind. Shane hiked past the map signage of the trailhead toward Bow Summit Lookout and followed the trail up one of the smaller mountains, eclipsed in stature by the surrounding mountains of the Rockies that stood high above him. The mountains towered above Peyto Lake, its water a distinct turquoise hue, and as Shane moved higher and higher, past the pine scent of the climbing tree line, he gazed at the water, and it reminded him of the color of a jewel on a woman's necklace, glinting in the light. Shane steadied his breathing. He hiked one sure foot at a time, and often an echo of his footfalls would ring out partway down the mountain and return to him with some distortion. He stopped along the path, set his pack down against the ground, and pulled from it a steel water bottle. He tipped it toward his mouth, and water spilled down his red, scraggly beard, and he dried it clean with his free hand. He removed his black baseball cap and wiped the sweat from his brow, the soft cooling wind a balm to the skin of his face in the mild August heat. Suddenly, a voice from deep inside himself said, "I have missed you." Shane looked around. He hadn't seen anyone behind him, following him up the path, nor had he seen anyone up ahead. He had been acutely aware that his thoughts rest on observing his surroundings, the deep verdant green of the valley trees sprawling out far off in the distance, the faint patch of mist that hung high around one of the surrounding peaks. Perhaps it was just a passing thought, a question posed to no one. "I have been watching over you," said the voice. The flash of Jeremiah ran through his mind. They had done this exact hike 6 years earlier, before Shane had grown out his beard, before Jeremiah was stricken with leukemia. Shane remembered sitting with him one day in his garden, the fullness and beauty of Jeremiah's brown hair now reduced to a military shaved head. Though Shane could now feel the bony protrusions of Jeremiah's spine and rib cage when he embraced him, there was a spiritual disposition to his face, receding away to reveal his prominent cheekbones, as if he'd been in prayer, fasting. Shane told him he was so handsome that day, a day that seemed flooded with light, the garden sunflowers waving their bright heads in the soft wind. He even convinced himself it was impossible that Jeremiah would die. "This is the only place I could find you now," said Shane, now at the highest crag, the peak of the hike. The vista sprawled through the valley, the gray snow-capped mountains so close to the sun it was as if they could touch. "I will always be with you," said the voice, and he pictured Jeremiah smiling there, hand upon his heart, standing before him on the rocky outcrop, before the disease took hold and ravaged his body, young and perfect, perpetually 30, not a day younger or older. Shane turned to face the sun, a red-tailed hawk catching his eye, sailing upon a thermal, soaring through the blue summer sky. "Look inside, I will not be far," said the voice. But when Shane turned toward the figure he had just seen a moment earlier, he found himself standing alone in the silence. And where he had previously felt emptiness in this sprawling isolation, his heart was now full, bursting with boundless love.